Hey, mates, welcome once again into the Little Dum Dum Club for another week. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Tommy Dasilo, and with me, as always, the other half of the program, Carl Chandler.
G'day, dickhead.
We got two very special guests joining us today. Please welcome back into the Little Dum Dum Club, Jen Fricker and Cameron James.
Yes.
Wow.
Yay.
Oh,
we did it.
This is just a
Hey,
live
guys.
call, guys. We just have to call and check that you're doing okay at the moment.
Yeah.
Thank
We
you.
just want to confirm you are going to kill yourself. So that's
Thank
the
you.
new,
Thank you.
the new angle
didn't
from Lifeline. We need
I
numbers.
don't
We
wanna kill-
need
I'm not ready
numbers.
to kill myself. I'm not feeling
We will
ready to
get
kill myself yet, but
COVID to
I'd
zero
like to.
one way or the other through vaccination or through mass suicide.
That's it.
The numbers
What
will
if-
go down.
What if there was a rogue element of Lifeline where either they thought they were supposed to ring you and get you to try to kill yourself, or there is a part of Lifeline where it's like, well, we've got to make sure some people are killing themselves. Otherwise, there's no need for Lifeline. So they're doing that to justify the
Yes.
funding from the government.
Yeah, right. So
Dude,
that's
this
part of
is
the
some
training.
red
It's like,
pill shit.
if people
Yeah,
call
yeah.
up and they sound like a bit of a piece of shit, here's how to kind of
Yeah.
talk them off the edge effectively. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds
yeah.
to me like something a guy at the pub would tell you. He'd be like, there's like 1 out of every 10 people employed by Lifeline actually encourage you to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
they
an
can stay
inside job.
employed, man.
Yeah.
It's an
Yeah.
inside job. Yeah.
Depression is an inside job.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that is,
Yeah.
If
is
you
a
think
t-shirt
about it,
that I would
if
not
you
wear.
think about
but
it.
I would love.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone's ever like, you feel like you're really good at the moment, you're kind of walking on air, you got a bit of a spring in your step, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to call Lifeline and just check up on the operators, just see how they're doing.
Yeah.
I've got,
Oh,
it's got to be hard
super
for
alpha
them.
move.
Yeah, they got to be.
Yeah.
They listen to all this all day. It would.
This is how
bring you down.
this is how well put together I am. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give the operators at Lifeline a pep talk. This is actually how you guys should be doing it.
So you're just
Someone's asking me
freelancing.
how I'm doing, but how
Yeah.
are you doing?
Yeah. It's like, excuse me, are you happy explaining this to me? Like, what the fuck is this?
Happy splaining.
You guys, Cam and Jen, you're in Sydney. You're in the lockdown. We've just come out here in Melbourne. I just went and had a beer down the road at the pub just before we did this, and I was in the toilet, and I saw a discarded bag just floating around in the urinal, and it made me really emotional because I just realized Melbourne's back, and that's what you guys are. That's what you guys are going to be back to someday. I just know it. Probably not on
Thanks,
August 28th,
man.
but sometime in
Thank you, man.
2021,
Fuck.
2022. I mean, I think you guys are going to be. You guys will get there. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Thanks, man. That's I think that's the Melbourne version of American Beauty. It's not a plastic bag floating in the breeze. It's a Coke bag floating in piss. That's
Yeah, it had, like,
beautiful.
it had little 4-leaf clovers printed on it, and it was just it's just sloshing around in the stream there.
And that's that cultural element that Melbourne really brings. Like everything you look at is art.
melting pot. Yeah.
Do you guys even have cocaine in Sydney? Has it got up there yet?
I don't
Probably
even have a
not.
joke. I don't remember the last time I did coke.
Oh.
I am breathing so well at the moment. You know what I mean? I am just
Yeah.
in and out through my nasal cavity at the moment. It is divine, I gotta say.
Right.
Yeah.
Just to give you guys a little update on me, I just got a little notification on my computer screen that said your connection is unstable. And I think that applies to both my Wi-Fi and my mental state at the moment
Great.
because
Yeah.
I'm feeling fucking
Yeah.
scattered. This is the first time I've spoken to anyone who's not my dog or my wife in about a week. So I'm fucking freaking out right now.
I have to say, when you started talking to us before we hit record, I was like, it does sound like you're learning to speak again. It did. You sounded a little bit nervous talking to us. I'm like, what's fucking happened to you?
It's weird being on a Zoom because like I'm not used to looking at people in the eye anymore. And then there's like 4 sets of eyes looking at me now. It's so weird. I live alone. I just talk to my plants now.
It's like we went through all this same stuff a year ago, but even still, you both sound deranged at the moment. Like it really puts into perspective what you guys were going through on the other side of us in our big lockdown last year.
Yeah. A Freaky Friday happening right now, and I'm loving it. I'm loving being the parent. It's fucking great. Sucks to be Jodie Foster like you cunts, but yeah.
I thought I was handling it so well until this very moment, but then it
Yeah,
wasn't until I looked at both of you guys.
Yeah, we're actually on
fucked.
we're actually on Zoom, running around the pub, spitting on people. It's
Yep.
fucking, it's pretty good. It is rubbing it in your nose. I'm really sorry, but yeah, it feels good.
I was pretty
I
tempted
can
to
imagine anything getting rubbed on anything right now, though. You know what I mean? Damn. Fuck.
I was pretty tempted to
That'd
just
be
do this
good.
on my phone out in the wild. Just do a remote recording sesh. Supermarket, art gallery, bookstore,
At the footy.
pub, at
Yeah.
the
Oh
footy,
my
yeah.
god.
Hit the protest.
Well, Jen and I
going on
were
down there.
hoping that we could be doing this from the Freedom Rally. We were planning
Yeah.
Oh
on
yeah.
Yeah,
doing
Yeah.
a live broadcast from there, but unfortunately, the fucking pigs shut it down.
Nanny state. Fucking
Nanny
nanny
state.
state.
A cab. All
Yeah.
cops are
Yes.
whatever the other word, whatever the last word. is.
that's
I
right.
don't know.
Brilliant. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Boss
All
babe.
cops are bay.
All cups of bay.
But we were really hoping to be there because we were at the last one and
Mm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah,
The vibe was beautiful, I gotta say.
Yeah.
So many
It was like
wonderful
Laneway
humans.
Festival.
This is what I was. This is an idea I can't stop thinking about. I was telling Tommy the other day. I would love it if, like, like the argument is, like, if you get the jab, you've got, like, in 2 or 3 years, everyone's just going to be dropping like flies. I love the
Mhm.
idea that we all do that, and the only people left on Earth are anti-vaxxers.
Yeah.
They're the
Mhm.
only people left, and there's just all these people, all these absolute dumb cunts walking around going, "Fuck, what do we do now? Who do we bash now? What do we fucking complain about now?"
I was saying it'd be
Mm.
like a good HBO series. It's kind of like a twist on the plot of The Leftovers, where it's like half the world's population disappears and the people left don't know why. The people left in this version, they know why. And then how long would it take them to go inward and then be split again? Because it'd be something.
Yeah.
What's the next issue that comes along that
Come
even
on, a
those
week.
people can't agree upon?
A week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Of
it would
course.
splinter into like Facebook anti-vaxxers versus TikTok anti-vaxxers.
Yes.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I reckon they'd probably be upset because I reckon they'd all be like, right, we can't all run the gyms. Someone else is going to have to do another job.
Yeah, what's the main job that's phased out? What's the industries that are
Well,
just
carnivals.
decimated?
Yeah.
Carnivals just they rule the world when it's only anti-vaxxers left. It's
Okay.
pretty much just every
Right.
town becomes a traveling show and they just
Yeah.
pack up and move on
And
in a caravan
and-
of people.
and makeup artists are found. Makeup artists
Oh.
really love to tell you how much they do not like masks and how they do not believe in the vaccine. And often they're like 2 centimeters from your face as they're telling you this. They're like,
Ah,
I don't believe this about
Yeah,
the
I think-
virus. What?
Right.
Hairdressers too. I think there was a hairdresser that got in trouble
yeah.
like, not too far from my house in the last lockdown here, where they had stayed open and someone had like walked past and just seen someone in there getting a haircut, and the person who owned the hairdresser had posted about this on Facebook. And so someone had gone past while this hairdresser was giving a haircut, knocked on the window and was like, you're not allowed to be open. And the hairdresser's posted about this going, how's the audacity of that? I mean, this is my hairdresser. It's like my house. Okay. It's like I'm just letting someone into my house to cut their hair. And it's like, yeah, also not allowed. Like that's not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Two things
currently
you
one
can't
of the
do,
main
actually.
things
Yeah.
that's banned.
and also you've now made it public. You are admitting in print that you are breaking the law. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
around soon.
Yeah.
Say cops.
Well,
I
even
watched
before
an
that, you just
interview
deal
with
it.
I watched an interview with that fire twirler guy that was at the Freedom Rally.
In Sydney.
And I'm
I love that you've
so-
gone deep on him.
Oh man, I know his name. I won't say it on the podcast. But it is Petrol
Let's just call him
Panther,
Hero.
and you can look him up. But anyway, I watched this interview with him. He has got to be like the dumbest cunt that has ever walked the earth.
Mhm.
And I'm so jealous of that. I like watching him talk. You're laughing at him for a few minutes, and then eventually you're like, he just looks so happy
He doesn't
and
Yeah.
just so blissful. Like his
Yeah.
life is just like, yeah, I'm hot, my shirt's off.
Yeah.
I'm in the fire community. I'm well
Yeah,
known in the
I
fire
control fire.
Fire
Yeah, I control fire.
So
man.
he could be in Captain Planet. Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
fucking
man.
hero.
It was actually inspiring to watch these people and go, yeah, I'd be so happier if I was just like 10% dumber. That's all I need to be.
Yeah. He got great exposure. He's not looking at the video going, this is embarrassing that this is being shared around. He's wrapped. He's thinking like, once this lockdown,
I'm going to get corporates out of it.
Really going to pick up big time off the back of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get corporates out of it. Fuck, that's good. But to just be like, there's nothing like he has actually made the cops look foolish. Because like, imagine being a cop and then being like, I've got a gun, but I've got to use a fire extinguisher on a fire twirler. Like, I could be murdering people, but instead I've got to like, I'm on camera fire extinguishing a fire twirler.
Or standing there with a can of deodorant, you're like, I'll spray it, cunt. Don't make me.
Yeah.
I got a new accountant recently, and I was doing the rounds trying to find a new one, and my wife was like, "I'll go with my family one," and I rang them up and went through everything and went, "Oh, this is what I think my old accountant's doing wrong," blah blah blah. And 5 minutes in, he's like, "Oh yeah, I do this, I do that, I do this," and then he goes, "Yeah, well, like within." We went from numbers to going into the virus isn't real. And I'm like, how are you wedging this into a sales pitch for me thinking about putting my money with you? And within 6 minutes, I reckon, he starts saying about who should be arrested in the government.
Wow.
We should all be out there, no mask, whatever. And I'm like, this is not like, I'm not with you at this point. Like this is a sales pitch from you. And I'm like, nah, mate. I don't know about this one.
And
no thanks.
Is this a good or bad mentality to have in an accountant? Because I guess if he's saying he should be arrested in the government, so he's got deep distrust, so he's probably working hard for you to not give more of your money over to them.
That's a good
point.
But
also, sounds fucking out of his mind. I don't know which way to land on it, whether he's a good accountant or not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's not a profession that I would think would be prone to anti-vax.
Well, you don't think of an accountant having any opinion whatsoever about anything.
Right.
You picture accountants just being like, don't know nothing.
Anyway, you don't think of accountants as hippies either, though. Like, if anything, they've got to be probably hard right wing because they're looking after money. They're not traditionally. There's not a lot of accountants in. Oh yeah, I just moved down here from Nimbin. Oh really? Cool. Yeah, no, you can be my accountant.
Well, speaking of the extreme pivot, I had my dad came in here like a few weeks ago before the last lockdown to help me put some hooks in to hang some paintings and stuff. And he came over with my mum. Mum went for a walk, and then Dad finished the job like quicker than he thought. So we were just killing time. So I was like, "Oh, do you want to have a beer?" And my dad doesn't really drink, so he has one beer, and that's all it takes for him to just be fucking on one. And he just starts letting loose, like telling me all these stories about like before he met Mum and like different women that were trying really hard to fuck him.
Fuck
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Just
how old is your dad?
He's 74.
And is he single?
God.
No.
How's the piece on him, Tommy? We want to know about that piece.
Yeah. That's a very good like 50-year-old blue ball story where he's still hanging on to the women he could have been banging.
Oh, and this is
in the 60s and 70s.
Oh yeah, these are stories from like 40 years ago where it's like having these committed to memory when you've had this whole, this whole life. Like, so it's just him absolutely holding court. Me not really wanting to hear it in any way, shape, or form, but just him going like, yeah, there was this one girl and she'd always be like going into the city. And so she'd call me up and she'd be like, "Oh, can I just drive and park my car at your house and then get the tram there? Because, that's."
And I knew what she meant.
We all know what she meant.
Like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I knew what she was trying to say. Yeah. Can I park my car at your house? Okay, I know.
Oh, can I ride the tram?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I get it. My dick's the tram. I get it. Yep.
I get it.
Yeah. Can you design my house? Stop trying to fuck me. I'm married. No, you're an architect. Can you design my house?
So, Tommy, were any of them like successful root stories, or were they all just stories of near misses?
Yeah.
He only told me, put it this way, if any of them worked, he didn't bring them up. He was
Right.
maybe that's because they didn't happen. Maybe he's got a bit of a thing of like, I'm married. I've got a family. I've been married for a long time. It would be impolite to talk about, previous conquests from before. I don't know. I didn't get any of that information. I only heard about the failures that were all framed as like, check out these fucking desperate women who really thought they were doing a covert job of trying to bang me. And I saw through all of it. And in Dad's defense, like the woman going, oh, I need to drive to your house to park there to get the tram into the city. It's like, why? This is like 40 years ago. Like, surely you could have just parked in the city. It's not like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Was it that hard to drive into the city back then? Probably not. Parking
I reckon
Yeah.
she wanted to fuck him. I've thought about that one, and I reckon she wanted to fuck him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah,
see
honestly, yes.
Yeah.
Let's get some pictures. Can you ask him next time if he can?
Yeah,
if he's still got pictures
Was he
of it?
pulling out
Okay.
the Facebook profiles or anything, or no?
Yeah.
No, this
They're
was
just
just
photos of Pamela Anderson and stuff that he's found on the internet. Like,
Yeah.
I
Betty
nearly
Grable.
fucked her.
Jane Mansfield.
Yes.
this, by the way.
My,
I would love
coming
to
out-
be. I'd love to be remembered as a girl that someone almost fucked.
Oh,
I would love
yes.
that.
Yeah.
Someone was 70 and still talking about almost fucking me.
Yes.
That'd be
Yeah,
sick.
yeah.
I would love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember
Absolutely.
I went on a date once with a guy, and this sounds like I was trying to rude him, but on the flip side of it,
Dropped your car
so-
near his house so you could get on the tram. Even
Well,
though there's no
okay,
trams in Sydney. Yeah. it's doubtful.
famously, Sydney's public transport system is terrible, right? So I was like 20 and I went on a date with this guy, and then he kept prolonging the date. And I was like, oh man, like I've got to get home. There's literally only one train an hour to get back to where I've got to go, and then I've got to get the bus. Like it's like a 2-hour round trip. And he's like, oh no, like let's keep hanging. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, and you can just sleep on my couch if you want, if like you get stuck here. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess like it might be easier than trying to like negotiate a late night transport system.
Mhm.
So anyway, so then I slept over on his couch. Nothing happened. Like super, it was like the driest date, and there was no vibe between us
Whoa.
whatsoever. And like the driest date, is that what you're?
Yeah. I'm 15.
I've got one of
And
those at the
then-
moment, actually.
And then I remember like I was really happy with myself because I was like, the first time I'd been on a date, kind of clocked it as like not being a vibe, but like maybe we could be friends. And he was like, yeah, of course. Like, your friendship means so much to me, and I would love that. And like, yeah, like if it's not a romantic thing, I'd love it to be a friendship. And I'm like, great. And then got back to uni the next week, and everyone was like, so you fucked Will Atkinson, did ya? You rooted him on the couch.
Just naming it. Great.
Wow. Awesome. Great.
Had he been telling people, or was it just
He'd been
gossip?
telling people I'd fucked him.
Whoa.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
so
ratty.
good.
What a
Yeah,
cool
very-
dude. He'll be
Yeah.
telling that
Very cool.
story for years to come, I reckon.
Yeah.
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 My wife's dad, after a couple of wines one night, started telling me stories from his past.
Yep.
And it was just because we don't talk that often. You know, we're not like best mates. But he'd had a few drinks, and he was like, one time, 1978, I had sex with one girl. Then later that day, I had sex with her friend.
Oh.
Sick.
Fuck, coming
was
from
like,
the in-laws.
Awesome.
Wow.
I'm fucking your daughter. So I
Hell yeah.
That is so sick that he's got the exact year committed to memory. That's fucking. You look down at
Yeah.
his arm and he's just got 1978 just tattooed on the
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah.
Never forget. I
his
want
wife's
Yeah.
like, what's that for? He's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry
First
about
thing
it.
I think of in the morning. Last thing I think of when I go to bed.
what is the bragging female story, Jen? Like, you got guys like that that's like, oh, this one time a girl nearly fucked me, or one time I did actually fuck a girl. Do girls ever brag about anything like that?
Like fucking conquests or something like that?
Well,
Is
no,
that what you're
well,
gonna
it-
mean, or
Even anything sex wise. Does anyone does that
Do girls
impress girls
like
with girls
sex?
talk? Or?
Um,
No.
Girls like sex.
do girls like sex? I'm
Do
trying to
girls
think
like it
again.
when it's big or?
Yeah.
What do girls
How
like?
does it work? Do they scissor?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm struggling to remember the last time I had had sex first of all and talked about sex with anyone.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Is there
trying
is
to
there
think,
ever
like-
is there ever girls in a circle like after a big night out just going, let's just talk rooting stories. Let's
yeah,
get 'em
that
in."
always happens. But
Oh,
it's
great.
always just like this motherfucker jackrabbited me into like they just jerked off with my body. Like it's always that.
Right.
It's
Bad
never
sex.
like
Right,
yeah.
right.
I get the
I'm trying
impression
to
that it's
think.
more, it's like when girls talk about, it's more detail oriented. When I'll tell my
Yes.
girlfriend like, oh, guess what? This mate of mine told me that he, picked up this girl last night, and she'll be like, oh, so what, how did it all happen? What positions? And I'll be like, I don't know. She's like, what do you mean you don't know? I'm like, I don't know. I just didn't get into it. He just brought up that it happened, and then that's good enough for me. She's like, men are fucking stupid. It's like, I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and get into all the fucking, get into the full.
Nitty-gritty.
Yeah, your friend said I picked up. You already had your dick out. You're jerking off, going, man. That's
Yeah,
It's almost too much detail for me. I didn't listen to the rest of the story.
I don't know. Maybe it's just my circle of friends, but like it's not so much bragging as like it's always stories about the worst possible thing happening.
Okay.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what I thought it might have been. Yeah. Like it's all
Yeah.
negative stuff. It's never like,
Like-
check this out.
Yeah, when it's good, it's like you're like, I fucked that guy. And then people are like, yeah, but that's it. But when
Right.
it's I just remember like a girl told me once she went home with this guy that she'd been like tuning for ages and then spewed on his dick. And I think about that. Like she could have told me about 10 guys that she's rooted that she's had a good time with.
Yeah.
I only remember her telling me that story.
Wow.
I don't even
Wow.
But what
And
is
then
the
what-
story? You know?
And then what happened at like after that was that
Yeah.
end of the interaction?
Did
'Cause
anything
again,
weird
guys are
happen?
so
I mean, that guy must have been like, oh God, I'm gonna have to clean the spew off my dick, fuck this girl, and get out of here.
exactly.
That's basically what happened. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck, you all know this guy as well. I wish I could say, can we say his name and you just cut it out?
I think I know.
'Cause I
I
feel like
actually
it's-
think I might know this story. I think I might know who it is. But yeah, why not?
I would
Play it
have
now, I'll
thought
cut it
the guy version of that story would have been, check it out. Looks like someone's got something big enough to gag on. Not too
Yeah.
shabby.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
That's because it's
No,
like
he's-
if the girl, like the guy vomiting on the girl, that's it. That's the end of that interaction. But the other way around, the girl vomiting on the guy, it's like the guy in his head going, I am going to move heaven and earth to still
Yeah.
get this one across the line. Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
that I've got spew all over me.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool.
Yeah, I don't care.
Have you
I
been
kinda
in
like
that-
it.
Have you been in that situation where you're like, the mercenary in me will get this done? Like something hectic's happened and you're
I
like,
do.
I will make this happen.
I do get the vibes of like a sentence going something like, so you're okay. So you're still feeling
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah.
I had an ex, he told me that he had sex with a girl and she had a stroke while they were having sex.
What?
Oh no. Okay,
he had
I
to
draw the
take her to the
line at like
hospital.
brain trauma. That's exactly the line that I draw.
Yeah.
I think.
When I'm having sex with someone, I want both of the sides of their faces to be moving as we're having
So
sex.
hard. I love that
When
cologne.
so-
Is that burnt toast?
Yeah, once someone's having a
Burnt
blood clot, I'm like, all right, let's maybe stop. Let's
Yeah.
He's like, I thought she was doing a bit at first.
bit?
And I was
Oh.
like,
Oh,
what? Why? Did you have the kind of relationship where you would be doing bits while you were having sex? He's like, absolutely not. And I'm like, so what?
Or she's
Just
like,
take her to a hospital.
or she's like, I think I'm having a stroke, and you're like, oh, mutual masturbation. Okay, we can take it.
Yeah.
And just-
I'll do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
other.
are, babe. Yeah.
yeah, I'll try anything, whatever.
yeah. Well, technically, I'm doing the stroke on you, so don't be claiming credit. Oh, that's not what you meant. Okay, right.
I mean,
yeah.
you just know that he'll be framing it forever as I gave a girl a stroke one time.
Absolutely.
Like, he'll-
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's
It'll
exactly
become a
how
brag.
he. Yeah.
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 Oh,
Dude, you should have
Yeah.
seen her face afterwards. Just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Mate. Never be,
Yeah.
never be the
She
same.
couldn't move. She couldn't walk.
I asked her family afterwards. No bad medical history before that. Nothing like that in her family. Clean bill of health. As soon as I got in the cot with her, boom.
oh man, I fucked her so good. Her nan had a stroke.
Yeah.
How good I-
It went up the family tree.
Yeah.
That's how fucking.
After I licked her out, she had eczema. It was pretty full on. It was
Oh
pretty
my
full on.
God.
Dude, I gave her irritable bowel syndrome. I
I had a friend brag that he gave someone thrush. And I'm like, that's like, you just need to wash your dick, dude. Like, that's not a fucking brag.
Yeah, dude. She was walking side to side from thrush.
Oh, well,
oh, dude. Hey, can I tell you guys about something very personal to me? It's come up naturally.
okay.
But I've been dealing with my dog's vagina all week. I don't know if I've told any of you guys about it yet. I've been trying not to spread it around, but I'm gonna tell you guys about it.
Yeah.
My dog had to get a vulvoplasty a couple of days
What?
ago.
What is that?
Do you know what a vulvoplasty is?
No.
It's like plastic surgery on the vagina to make it
cuter,
tighter for you.
Tighter, cuter, smoother. It's like
are you getting your dog regularly waxed? What's happening?
Cam,
I gave her a Brazilian, a beautiful pussy.
Are you about to do a bit of a boast like that guy from Jen's story? Because we don't want to fucking hear about it, brother.
Yeah.
No, my dog was desexed very young. When they gave her to us, they had already desexed her and she was under a month old, and that's bad. So it makes them develop in weird ways or like underdevelop in their like genitals and in organs and shit. And so we didn't know that. And then the vet recently told us that her vagina was underdeveloped and he needed to perform a vulvoplasty to give her like a beautiful, gorgeous schmick adult vagina.
Wow.
Which is
so
like,
she had to get an adult vagina because she only had a kid vagina?
She just had like a small little, it was just, I don't know. I didn't really ever get a good
Some
look at
girls
it.
would kill for a small pussy.
Yeah, some guys would kill for a girl to have
privilege.
a small pussy.
Wow, I really hope we put this episode up and all the comments are just people in the know going, that's not a real thing. This is just some vogue vet that Cam went to.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's trying to... Yeah, he's trying to just make it good for him because he knows that you're going to bring the dog in regularly and going, she's
like,
going to need a bigger
if you're bringing
vagina.
this dog in, I want a beautiful pussy to look at her.
Looking
at dog's breakfast.
Gave her huge tits as well.
Yeah, big
heavy, natural looking one.
Big fat natties.
Wow. So how is Pammy, your dog, going?
Yeah, Pammy, she's oh my god, it's so gross because I think I've said this last time I was on, but I got a girl dog because I hate boys' dogs' dicks so much. I think they're fucking disgusting, gross, red little shiny things.
Little red rocket.
So I got this.
Yeah.
So I got the girl, so I wouldn't have to deal with that. And then now, because she's got like a cone on her head while she's recovering from the surgery, every day I have to wipe her new pussy. Oh. So every day I have to like get her on her back.
Hang on. So is this just a long way around of going every day, even not on purpose? I'm getting my dog wet every day.
I'm
walking around.
I'm walking around candles.
I'm walking around. I'm getting out of the shower. My dog's seeing me before I towel up, and it just cannot handle it.
Carl, don't interrupt him again. I'm so close. Keep going, Cam.
So I have to get her on her back, spread her legs, and then
oh no,
clean her vagina with like a wipe, like an alcohol wipe, every single day. I have to look deep into the eye of this new. And I deliberately wanted a girl because I didn't want to have to deal with the dog genitalia. Yeah. But now it's like my whole life. It's like twice a day. I'm like, come on, spreading it and dabbing around.
Are the rest of the dogs in the neighborhood sort of giving you the eye every day, going, "Thanks, brother. Thank you for your beautiful work."
And so this is just you doing this. It's like not you and your wife, like, taking it in shifts, like alternating.
Yeah, that's a way of two girls to bond. What are you doing jumping in there volunteering for it?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's cool. It's cool, babe. Don't worry about it. Just don't come in. Just give us 10 minutes.
What's this vet bill for? No, nothing. It was a misprint. I think it got sent to the wrong address. There's no like, why have you lengthened my dog's vagina? Why? You never told me about this, Cam. What's this?
In my mind
No,
as
it's not
well.
us.
Like you saying this, because how big is your dog? It's like a small dog or like a medium size? Like what kind of dog is it?
She's like a medium-sized golden retriever. Yep.
Because in my mind, I was thinking it's like a tiny little toy poodle who's just got like flaps dragging on the ground. It's living the worst fucking snail trail. This adorable fucking dog.
No, like one of those dogs that like doesn't have its back legs anymore, so it's actually got like a little wagon with wheels on. It's like got the flaps trailing behind.
Pick up its heavy flaps.
Cam, what are you complaining about being in lockdown? Like,
ears.
if you were open at the moment and you just had like a friend or a God forbid a relative just randomly pop in while you're doing this, operation, like, thank God you're in lockdown. This isn't something you may be doing when the world is open.
Maybe this is all just an elaborate ploy in the hopes that my wife listens to this podcast so that I can go, see, I talked about it. It was doctor ordered.
Oh, right.
Oh, right.
Is it one of those things where, like, you know, when we went into lockdown, I got like some teeth aligners so that when I could come out, my teeth would be all fixed. Is this the same thing? So when you come out of the lockdown, all of a sudden your dog's pussy is like the absolute highlight of all the dogs on the block. So make the most of being locked down, little doggy.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Melbourne Comedy Festival 2022, and it's you accepting the Barry for your moving work called My Dog's Pussy.
Yeah. Some people wrote King Lear. I was cleaning out my dog's mutt. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
My dog's mutt.
My dog's mutt. That's the show title.
Yeah. Wolf mutt with Cam James.
I've got
Wolf mutt.
I've got 10 more days of it. And to answer your question, yes, we've been taking it in shifts.
Okay.
But I'm better at it. So
okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
That's what every guy reckons, though.
Yeah.
They all say that, but
Yeah. Like the dog tells me at the end, oh no, that's clean now. Yeah, you can finish now. That's clean. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah.
No, I just know her tail was wagging so much more when I did it.
I'm used to working with the vagina from this angle. I say to her,
Yeah.
you don't know, you don't see it from the angle that I see it.
Right.
And anyway, so that's mainly why I'm depressed, I think. It's just dawning on me that maybe I've spent far too long just alone in a room with my dog's new vagina.
Yeah, it's the most pussy you've ever got, but it's in this detail.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I thought I was ordering too much shit in the lockdown. I wasn't getting an animal and then getting genital reconstructive surgery on it. It's just nice to hear the doorbell go off, you know?
Yeah. Actually, I've actually run out of things on Amazon. I guess I'm getting this. Okay. All right.
Funk off my parakeet.
Yeah. Yeah.
To go back quickly, I sorry guys, we're all having fun, but I would like to go back to talking about my dad being fucked by strange women.
Of course.
He had another one, and I think this is a move, as a like trying to pick up move. This was my favorite one that he told me about. He owned a little apartment, and this woman that he was friends with that clearly wanted to try it on, she bought an apartment in the same building in order to try be closer.
Wow.
That's
huge
move. Yeah.
That's old school. That's really old school.
Again, being in my 30s and single, I'm like, is there a single man still in Sydney that has a single apartment next to, like, I'll fucking do it.
Yeah.
I'll do anything at this point. I'll buy a house. I'll get into crippling debt if I need to.
Well, yeah, I said this to him, like, God, what a difference.
Would you go to Cam's vet?
I'll get a big, beautiful pussy if I need to.
This small child's one has been nothing but trouble.
I want to supersize.
But the thing is, you're in lockdown, you live by yourself, you don't have anyone to clean it every day for you.
Know,
that's the tragic thing.
Do you make eye contact with the dog when it happens?
That's really personal, Jen. That's really personal.
Do you have to distract them with like a schmacko or something while you're doing this?
Yeah.
Oh, look. She doesn't-
Yeah.
I'm getting PTSD even just recounting it to you guys. She's not. It's not great. It's not. She doesn't love it. I don't love it.
Because
It's just
anything
something
like
that has to be
this,
When you
done.
say PTSD,
Something
do you
like-
mean pretty tight in my small dick?
yeah, I'm getting pretty tight in my small dick just thinking about it.
Yeah. Do you have to, like, with dogs like that, you know, with animals like that, generally you've got to reward them with a treat afterwards, after they've gone through that. So
I don't
Do you-
like where
what-
this is going. I really don't like this line of questioning. I can see ahead of you like 3D
All right.
chess. I know what's
Do you
going
know
Alright,
what?
alright, I'll
Though
abandon it.
there's like a story that I'm obsessed with, and I feel like this has come up naturally because, like, I feel like being in lockdown, I've got to create my masterpiece. You know what I mean? I'm like,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
it. Like, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
up every day. I'm gonna work on my
Like
masterpiece.
like Cam's doing with his dog.
Yeah, with his
Yeah.
Barry Award-winning show,
Yeah.
My Dog's
No, with
Pussy.
with his dog's Barry Award-winning pussy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that we're
But-
calling it the Barry again, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
they're
Oh
changing
shit!
it
What's
back.
it called now?
If this show wins, they're changing it back to
Yeah,
be in
yeah,
honor of
yeah.
Barry Humphries. This feels right.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But
No.
so-
That'd be more like if a male dog got a really good pussy, we'd change it back to the Barry. I think. Yeah.
Fuck. That's how out of touch I am now. I'm like, it's still called the Barry, right? Anyway,
That's what it was called
But-
when I won it.
but yeah, there's this true story that I'm obsessed with that I'm like, one day I'll write the award-winning musical that will tour on Broadway about this woman. It's a NASA experiment that happened in the 60s, and this woman basically lived on this tropical island and saw that NASA was setting up like a lab on the island, so went over and was like, hey, what's going on here? And they're like, we're going to partially flood this house and let a dolphin live in it, and we need like someone to watch, like basically record what the dolphin does. You know this story, Cameron?
I know this story because you told me this story about 5 years ago.
And I'm
So
still
good to know-
thinking about it.
Good to know that it's still in your head.
Hey.
Anyway, so she basically, NASA at that point, very in the 60s, doesn't have very stringent like processes for accepting people into their scientific program. So like, yeah, sure. If you want to live in this house with this dolphin, go ahead. And
Also,
like, all
I
you
love-
need to do.
I love NASA getting involved with dolphins.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, who the fuck knew like what they were doing with that dolphin? But they
Yeah.
were like, yeah. So every day, I think it was like a year and a half, she lived with this dolphin in this house, right? And like would record like all of its things and stuff, and started noticing that the dolphin was getting quite like horny, like its little dolphin dick would come out.
Mm.
And then so
Mhm,
she kind of started taking it upon herself to jerk it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Completely
then-
she wasn't asked to do that, right?
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
not asked to do
No
that.
one-
And then she started falling in love with it.
Okay.
Oh.
Its name is Peter. She fucked it. She fucked the dolphin.
She actually fucked it?
She fucked the dolphin.
Wow.
And there's this
Wow.
amazing Guardian
Fucking-
article about
Fucking
it.
can be anything, you know, Tommy. Fucking doesn't have to be penetrative. It can
Did
be.
that?
Yeah.
Out
But
of
I think
course,
it did
it can be
penetrate her though.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Right. So because of that, because of NASA watching all of this happen, in some small way, did this help us get on the moon in any way?
I think so. This is why Elon Musk
Yeah.
went to the moon. It's because this woman fucked a dolphin.
I'd like to
So,
think that was
like-
secretly the aim of NASA doing this in the first place. Like that's why they set the
Yeah.
whole thing up. So they're in
Yeah,
a control
they're
room
like-
watching her suck off the dolphin, just high-fiving, going, boys,
Yeah.
we did it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
knew this
yeah.
would happen.
Christmas party is gonna be off chops this year.
Houston, we have a problem. The dolphin is now bumming this chick.
Has there ever been a statement from NASA talking about this, or is it all just like her coming out and being?
It's
Is-
her talking about it. Like that's the
Is it?
crazy thing. Like she's
So-
like, if you were there, you would have understood. It's like, nah,
No,
stop.
no, no, no,
Awesome.
no, no, no,
Just
no, no.
going,
It's
I'm
been
gonna get in front of
60
the
years
story.
and no one understands this.
Yeah.
Like no one.
Is- Was this like kept up the sleeve? Like if the first mission to the moon had have crashed and everyone had died, it would have been like, yeah, but check this out. We got a woman to suck off a dolphin. We are getting shit
Yeah.
done here at
Yeah,
NASA.
yeah, yeah.
We are getting
Yeah.
amazing, world-changing things happening here in NASA.
Yeah, you're looking at NASA and it's
That's-
just like, it's just all of them gathered around the screen watching this happen live, just rejoicing, just like pissing themselves. And then on a monitor on the other side of the room, there's just like a space shuttle just like bursting into flames.
The Challenger is exploding on a small monitor.
Why won't they help us?
You know what happened? You know what happened? They just heard the phrase too many times. How come they can put a man on the moon, but they can't get a woman to suck off Flipper?
Yeah.
And they're like, fucking, you know what? Let's do it.
Yeah. They're trying to clear off all the other things on that list that people complain about. Yeah.
You know what,
great.
though?
So,
I actually heard that that NASA, not only did they fake the moon landing, but they faked the woman sucking.
Soundstage.
It was actually
Yeah.
on a soundstage.
Yeah, you know,
Kubrick
it was
directed it, I think.
Yeah. It was actually a bloke in a wig fucking a shark. That's what it was.
You look at the angle of a dolphin dick, there's no way that could go into a human pussy. There's just absolutely no way. Yeah.
Fuck.
I truly did think
Why do
for
you
like
think
maybe a week of my life that the moon landing was faked, because I think I've talked about this before. I used to read this like magazine series that was like one of those ones that would come out. First issue would come with a big binder to keep all the to keep all the following issues in. It was like all about like
I think I got this same magazine.
Yeah, it would have, I forget what it was called, but it was like it would have stuff like about Roswell and they had a whole thing on the moon landing being faked, and reading it at a very impressionable age, and it's sort of having a whole issue on the moon landing being faked, but not really going in like, isn't it crazy that people think this? It was like, here is why people think this. And it was like annotated things of the photo, and reading it and going like, yep, it all adds up. It must.
Yeah.
And that's literally the experience. That's literally the experience of a boomer on Facebook now, though. Like that's literally every cunt who went to the Freedom March is like them just being like, "Well, I saw it on Facebook, and there's nothing else to like contradict it." So
Can we add this to like in the future when those deals come out in the newsagents, where if you get the binder and the first issue for like $2.99 and then every other issue is like $10? Can you add that from now on? Can there be a world where it's like number one, issue 1, Loch Ness Monster, issue 2, UFOs, issue 3, COVID's not real? Are you allowed to put that in that bag from now on?
Yeah,
I think we should.
Yeah, when do you think there'll be a time where it's like far enough away from being right in the thick of this to someone being able to put together a compelling list of the evidence that if you were like too young to have lived through it when it was actually happening, like you could read it and go, yeah, okay, I could kind of understand.
Oh, dude.
Like
it'll take 2 years. I remember like 3 years after 9/11, there was some great website that was all about how it's an inside job. And I was reading it at home in Newcastle on my family computer going, yep, makes sense. You can see that there were charges that were set off on the inside of this building if you watch the video in slow motion. In 2 years' time, I'll be doing the same thing going, yeah, it was planned. They definitely planned it.
I love that image, gathering around the Bone family PC to check out some conspiracy.
Yes.
Someone picks up the landline. No, fuck.
I'm reading about 9/11. In the clouds. You can see the devil is in the smoke coming out of the building.
That's a good reminder, actually, Jen Fricker. Thank you for being part of one of only 2 people on this podcast using their real last name. Thank you. I feel.
What do you mean?
I don't feel so lonely.
Oh, because we're surrounded by these showbiz types.
Exactly.
We're the everyman.
Yeah, we're doing our families proud. That's what we're doing. We're not ashamed of our lineage, of our heritage.
Yeah.
Of our family crests.
Cameron's real last name, Cameron Bone. My real last name, of course, Tommy Liberace. Sorry for deceiving.
Why did you change that?
Me?
It's actually such a better name. Tommy Liberace is such a good name.
It would have made your dad proud. I mean, I never met your mum, but your dad would have actually been very proud. Yeah.
Dad said I was too gay and I was bringing shame to the family, so I had to try. But just to quickly close that up, so to go back to the woman buying an apartment in my dad's building to try and root him, I was just amazed by that story because it really speaks to what a different time in history where it was like what property prices were, where it was like you could afford to get into the property market just because you want to nut. You know what I mean? Like I said that to Dad. I'm like, God, what a different time it was. And he's like, oh, well, it wasn't just that. It was that, people back then weren't just eating avocado on toast every fucking day.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what a masterful boomer pivot from check out all these women that were trying to fuck me to people of your generation don't know how to fucking save money. I was like, you really lured me in beautifully there.
Back in the 90s and 2000s, I was just like going into chemists and buying things I didn't need because there were like hot girls behind the counter. But I wasn't buying the fruit shop next door to them. Fucking hell.
So when your mum came home, Tommy, did he just quickly change his tune and stop talking about all this smut?
No, he doubled down. How's this? He doubles down and he's like, yeah, we were just midway through. And by the way, he'd had one mid-strength beer. That was all it took to
Hell
get him
yeah.
to just, fully
go off, king.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Court was in session. And he just doubles down. He's like, oh, I was just telling him about this woman. And Mum's just fully bought in. She's like, yeah, God, the things that some people try on, it's just pathetic, isn't it?
Like everyone wanted to
as
fuck your
if she
partner.
Didn't try and buy a house on the other side of the apartment.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love being that girl too. I'd never do that.
That'd be great if now
cool ones.
That'd be great if now you figured out, Tommy. Actually, why has there always been this empty house next to our childhood house? Oh, that's right, because Dad bought it 50 years ago to be next door to my mum and to crack onto her.
Yeah, or it's like, oh no, it's the opposite. It's like mum's worked out the game. So it's like every house that we ever lived in, she's bought the properties either side so that no other hussies can move in and stake
and
her man.
Your mum's now a property magnate just to make sure your dad's not rooting around.
She's
on cock block monopoly.
That is ultimate girl boss shit. Just buying up property so that no other
women
can
gatekeeping the hell out of your dad.
Yeah, just
dating was so much simpler back when we were young. We didn't have your Tinders or any of that. We'd just go out, we'd buy a nice house next door to a girl that we loved.
We didn't have Tinder, we had LJ Hooker. Yeah, that's what we had back then.
And now it's like, well, I want to go out for breakfast, but I also want to root this girl who's got a property for lease next to her. So no, I'm gonna have to go hungry. Gonna have to go hungry.
No avocado for me.
Yeah, that's how they invented intermittent fasting, by wanting to root and saving on breakfast. Yeah.
I mean, most people, they splash out on avocado and toast. I've been splashing out on dog vagina for the last 6 months. I've really got to fucking rein it in.
Out on you for the sound.
What does this operation?
That was fucked. I'm sorry.
What does this operation run?
One of the worst things I've ever said.
I beg your pardon?
What does this operation run you, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, yes.
Or ballpark. You don't have to say now.
Well,
how spenny is your dog's moot?
Yeah.
Well, it was a $3,000 vagina, basically.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's not just aesthetics. It's the inside. It's internal. There are reasons for it. It's not just like so she feels sexy or
it's not just so
look at.
It's not just how it feels for you. Sexy. It's for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. $3,000 is how much I've spent.
What is something else that you've spent that much money on?
Yeah.
Like what's ballpark?
Have you ever spent that much money on your wife?
Yeah. How much money have you put on your
ring? Maybe the engagement ring was the last thing.
Wow.
That's what they say, isn't it? What did I spend on an engagement ring? Well, it's got to be at least one dog's new pussy.
As much as you'd spend on your dog's vagina.
Yeah. So the two most expensive things you've ever bought both fit pretty snugly around your finger.
Oh,
wow.
Here we go.
Oh my dear Lord.
That is the Chandler stuff right there.
That's the opposite, right? I was led to believe that the new one doesn't fit that snugly. Wasn't that the whole issue that it was?
Oh,
okay.
my God. Right. No, Cam's got big fingers. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know I say this every time, but this podcast has given me COVID. Fucking.
You were saying that 3 years ago, and we were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
And that's because
Make any sense.
that's because I was still in the lab cooking it up.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
here we
yes.
are.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very
those were
nice.
Good times.
What about this? So you guys are in lockdown. We're just out. Now this is something that my wife did in lockdown, which just before we got out of it, I was going on my we're in the house all day together. She's working from home. I'm working from home. We're in the house all day. I went for a walk last week at like 6:30 at night. So I'm off on my walk by myself. I get about half an hour into the walk, and I get a text from my wife. Now we've got a cat. We've got one cat. The cat's named Crunchy. It's got its own vagina. It's all in working order, I believe. It's your stock standard factory issue. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Still in its own box.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough. Yeah. So we
Still got the tags. Yep.
Yeah. Still got the warranty. Yeah. So I go off on my walk. The cat's name's Crunchy. I go off on my walk. I get a text from my wife. I got in front of me. It says this: Crunchy passed away today.
What?
And I'm like, what the fuck? I get it. Look, I just get the text, and also just the wording of it.
You've just left the house. You've been out for what, like half an hour, 15 minutes?
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
Yep. And are you immediately doing an inventory of like, did I see the cat today?
Yeah.
Did we bury our cat today?
Yeah. But like above all the fact that like our cat's dead, I'm going, she passed away today? Don't you mean in the last half hour? Can't you get a bit more specific? I've been there all day. Don't tell me today.
Yeah.
Like it's whatever's happened is fucking dramatic because it's happened in 30 minutes. Like, has it fallen off the fucking roof? What the fuck's going on?
So like I'm out on a walk, like just wait till I'm back to break the news. Like
this will be a phone call at least.
Yeah.
And there's also no emotion in it. Like it's been fed to the AAP or whatever. Like Crunchy passed away today. So put a bit of emotion in it. Like, what the fuck? Crunchy's dead. What do we do? Or even dare I say, give us a phone call. Get on the blower. You know?
At least a couple of emojis at the end there, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. She's passed away from a bit of experimental operation on its pussy. You know, give me some specifics. Like, what the fuck has happened? Crunchy passed away today, and my response is, my response is, what the fuck? And then she says, so sad, and I'm like, what?
Okay.
And I just respond, Jesus Christ.
But again, have you seen the cat that day?
Wait a second. You don't call her? Why didn't you call her?
So I'm on the phone at this point, to be fair. I'm on the phone. I'm just getting the text coming in. And so I'm on the phone.
Getting that call, you're like,
well, I'm about to.
Yeah, hang on, Brett. Just got a text about a dead cat.
Yeah. You know what I'm doing? I'm talking to someone on the phone, and as the texts are rolling in, I'm doing this. I'm going, what the fuck? My wife just sent me a fucking text that says our cat just passed away. And now I'm typing, what the fuck? And now she's typing, so sad. What the fuck is going on here? So
if I'm
that'll
on
happen.
the other end of that, I'm like, anyway, I better not keep you.
Sounds like you got a lot on, dude.
Yeah.
So thank you for calling us to ask how we're doing.
Yeah. So then the next text I get from her, and no, I go, Jesus Christ, and then the next text I get from her is just a picture, right, of a cat. That is not our cat. Not our cat. A picture of a cat that looks like our cat, not our cat. Right. And I'm like, what? Hang on, has another cat died? Or is this a glowing tribute to our cat, but she just couldn't find a picture of our cat, so she just Googled a cat that looked like her?
Is the cat in the picture alive or dead?
It's alive. It's it's sitting up. It's sitting up.
Okay.
And it looks like our cat. It's the same breed as our cat, but it's not our cat.
It's not your cat, and it's not a dead cat.
Yes.
So this being used as evidence in the text message is just completely irrelevant.
Yeah. Yes.
Going on?
Yes.
Just in case in your half an hour of missing your cat's death, and you've also forgotten what your cat looks like, or what the cat of its breed might look like.
And my wife's gone insane. Our wife couldn't even find one of the 1 million pictures we have of our cat.
Yep.
So it's just found a random cat on the internet and sent that to us.
Mm.
So then I ring to go, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, this is big.
'Cause-
He's ringing. This is big.
Yeah. I finally get enough emotionally invested in the story to end the call, to ragging about open mic comedians in Melbourne, to go, well, all right, I'm triggered. What's happened to our cat? So I ring my wife to go, what the fuck is going on? What happened? And she's like, what? I'm like, Crunchy's dead. And she goes, oh, not that Crunchy. Like, what do you mean not that Crunchy? She's like, oh, you know how we met another cat called Crunchy once? And that's where we got the idea for the name Crunchy.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh my God.
That cat died. I'm like, what do I fucking care?
Oh my
We saw a cat at someone's house 15 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And like just went, oh yeah, that's a cool name.
That's also the rule for all cats that you've seen at some point. They will all die. Like you can't be getting a text every time.
And also, like, that cat was 15 years ago. That's not what comes into my head when I hear the word Crunchy now. It's the cat that we've had for 6 years. The cat that we feed and play with and pat every single day. To me, that's Crunchy number one. That's the old Crunchy. That's some other random Crunchy.
Even in lockdown, when you're running out of things to do and things to talk about with the person that you're in lockdown with, even then, that story barely warrants a mention. Like,
oh yeah,
you would have to be like 8 weeks in and like, oh, this will give us probably like a minute of convo, I guess. This is worth trotting out that I heard.
Honestly, good on you for not. Good on you for not responding. Wow, that's crazy. Like, fuck. At that point,
far out.
That's all I have. Yeah.
Sad
that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really none of your business that this random cat died. She she could have gotten in touch with you if like Nestle decided to stop making crunchy bars. I reckon that.
Yeah. I really thought that's what it was going to end up being. Yeah.
That's info. I'd be like, oh yeah, fuck. That sucks. Yeah. We should have had them more.
Yeah. I thought they were in a great
Gonna have to get Violet Crumble now. Fuck.
Yeah.
They're getting rid of the crunchy. Yeah. Are they keeping the crunchy ice cream? Fuck, I hope so.
Yeah. That would be dramatic news. Yeah.
Will it still be in favorites? Like Moro is? Oh.
Do you have the kind of relationship with your wife though where like is it at all possible she's just kind of giving you something to like so then there's a bit of conflict or whatever, like a bit of something to do?
No. She like, because then I ring her and I go, what the fuck? And she just hasn't really thought that I'm gonna think of like it being like I think she thinks as if our cat will ever die. I really think she thinks that. So like clearly you'll know. Yeah. That's going to live on forever. Like we're all going to live forever, aren't we? Apart from this cat we met 15 years ago. Yeah. So then when I ring her, she's like, "Oh yeah, no, sorry, like the other cat. Yeah, it's fine. But like it's really sad. Everyone's sad. I'm really sad. I'm like, you don't need to be really sad. We met the cat once.
We have our own one. We have our own little one.
Yeah.
But are you still like very good, like close with these people who?
No, not at all.
So that's good. So how's that coming up? They're just like, hey, look, we just wanted to let you know because we know that you stole our cat's name. You might be interested to know that it's dead. So you now are the only living Crunchy. I hope you're fucking happy.
They were a friend of a friend. So we've heard it down through the grapevine.
Oh my God.
So my wife has then pushed back. My wife has now pushed back up the grapevine. Like, sorry to hear that. If it helps at all, we named our cat Crunchy as well. So she's now saying to me, I think they feel a bit better that there's another Crunchy going around out there. I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be wrapped with that.
Because cats are notoriously very rare. You know what I mean? There's only a few.
Yeah.
So our family cat died last year, and the way that it was announced to my brother and I was on the family group chat with a picture of it in its grave.
Oh my
Oh
God.
no!
Wow.
My mum just posted a picture of our dead cat. She'd put some flowers around it in the hole and was like,
No.
Monkey has finally found his final resting place. And that is the day I left the family group chat. I was like, I was
That's an
having
abuse.
lunch. Like I was just
Yeah.
out and about and like I was like, oh, Facebook notification. Here we go. And it was just
Yeah.
a picture.
Yeah. How do you put it? Fuck. Was it in a coffin or was it just like in the dirt or?
I don't know. It was in the dirt. Do they have cat coffins?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering.
No. I mean, they just buried it in the backyard and put some flowers
Don't-
around it.
Don't you put it in a bag or something? You know, isn't someone going to dig
I
that
don't
up like
know.
another animal at some stage? I don't
Bag's
know.
worse than
I don't
nothing. What,
know.
just like a Coles bag?
I don't know. Something.
But I was just like,
Something.
why did you need to
It's like a
show me
roast
the
chicken
picture?
bag or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Cut little holes so its legs hang out so it looks like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to carry to the grave because it's got that little kind of hook thing in it. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
Ziploc, nice
But
and
I was like,
easy.
why did you send a picture? Like, surely there were
Yeah.
so many steps before this. And she was like, well, you know, sometimes it gives people a lot of peace to like see that like someone's dead, like at an open
No.
casket funeral. And it's like,
Oh.
with an
no.
open casket funeral, there's still like the warning of you're going to a funeral. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're
Brace
not just
for
being
it.
confronted with an open casket, just
Yeah.
like
Yes.
while you're out and
Fuck.
about.
Yeah. Dad's
And then
dead.
someone's
and
like,
just
hey,
a picture
come in here. Come in this room. And you go, why? What's in there? Just come in. Just come in.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
did
What's everyone wearing black for? What's up?
did your mum make the cat look nice, or was she presented in a certain way, or was it just like
had,
dumped
like,
in a
little-
hole?
Well, like dumped in the hole. I think they put like a little blanket underneath it, and like I mean,
Okay.
honestly, I blocked a lot of this
Yeah,
out.
yeah, sure.
Like,
That's nice.
Sure.
but there's like little flowers around it and stuff. I mean, it was very mum on Facebook kind of aesthetic, like flowers, a soft blanket,
Yeah. Little picture of a mitten
a
Mm.
fluffy
in the
cat,
corner.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh God.
Mm.
That's. I mean,
It's
I still think you need to be buried in the ground. You need something around you. You need, a bag. I think is not too much to ask. A box, something. Like
Yeah.
humans
A
aren't just
box
chucked
would
in the
be-
ground.
Yeah.
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 So,
yeah.
Carl, can I ask,
Cardboard
what was
box?
the photo of the cat that your wife sent you? What was that? Was that your Crunchy? Because you said it was.
No.
What was? Oh, was that just? Oh, don't you remember? That was a
Yeah.
photo of the other Crunchy when it was alive.
Yes, that's what it was.
Right.
That was the other cat that I met once.
Right.
That I saw once. Yeah, that was a picture of that. Yeah. But also the
Right.
cat the cat is the same breed as our cat. So, that's what I mean. I was like looking at the cat going, hang on a minute, is this our cat? No, it's not our cat.
Right.
But it is the same breed. So like I'm thinking, has she had a stroke? Does she think this is our cat? Has she just seen a dead cat the same breed as ours
So you're
on the
thinking,
street?
"God,
fucking
Yeah,
and
that's
then
what
gone.
must have,
Yeah.
I must have fucked the shit out of my wife earlier and given her a stroke or something."
Yeah. Yeah. This is how hard I fucked my wife today. She mistook our cat for another one. Yes. Thank you very much.
Oh, you fucking pimp, bro.
Yeah. I'm a mad brooder. It's true. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well, rest in peace, Crunchy. That's really what we wanted to get across on this episode. Gone too
Yeah.
soon.
Mm-mm.
Our thoughts are
Yeah, let's dedicate this episode to Crunchy Senior, the original, the OG Crunchy.
Crunchy one. Yeah.
Oh, and
I
can we also
only met you
dedicate it
once.
to Cameron's dog's original vagina?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
a good
you.
point.
Too small, too beautiful for this world.
Thank you so much.
They're
Thank
together
you.
in pet heaven. Yeah.
Yeah,
It means a lot.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe Crunchy original was a boy, so he could be up there rooting your cat's pussy in pet
Hope
heaven,
so.
in pet paradise.
Let's fingers crossed.
So
Yeah.
in pet heaven, there's
Yeah.
like full animals that have died, and then there's also
It's body parts.
disembodied
Parts of.
animal
Yeah.
vaginas.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm picturing I'm picturing if your dog's pussy was famous, there'd be like a cartoon in the newspaper of just pearly gates, and then just
Yeah.
like a small vagina with legs kind of standing there, and then
Yeah.
a little pithy
Yeah.
comment. I don't know what it'd be.
Come on,
Yeah.
come on, Cam. You know, when you've imagined heaven before, you've thought of disembodied vaginas that you can use.
With little angel wings.
Yeah, yeah, playing
Floating
up.
Because they were good pussies here on Earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
All right, we better wrap it up for another week on the Little Dum Dum Club. Cam, James, Jen Fricker, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us, guys.
You can check out Cam's
We
podcast.
sound
Total.
so fucking. Just
I think we've broken
Thank
we've
you.
broken you more than the lockdown. Sorry.
Yeah.
Cam, you've got your podcast, Total Reboot, and Finding Drago. Anything else you'd care to plug?
And the Becky and Cam hotline.
Yes.
And that's it.
Nice. Check all that stuff out. Jen, things you'd like to plug? You've got your Netflix podcast, Big Film Buffet.
Yep.
People can check that out.
Big Film Buffet. And that's it.
Nice.
That's it.
I'd
Just
like
avoid.
to I'd like to plug Cam's cat's pussy if I'm a good boy when I die one day. Yeah.
Dog's pussy. It's a dog
Guys,
pussy.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Sorry. Cat.
Fingers
cat
crossed
pussy,
that
sorry.
the lockdown ends and the borders open, and then we can get up there and just all be having our wicked way with Cam's dog's pussy. Guys, that's we really need you to stay home, wear a mask when you're outside if you're in Sydney, and get these numbers.
Get vaccinated, guys. Please.
So that we can all get back to doing the things that we love to do.
When we're 80% vaccinated, we get to go overseas and plug Cam's cat. So yeah.
Jesus Christ.
All right, guys. Thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you next time. See
ya,
mates.
mates.